Hello everyone. Now I am going to show you how to install M-JPEG Stream Camera Fork and a very small glimpse of how to use it. Well, you must be thinking, what is this with such a heavy name? Let me assure you that it is actually a quite lightweight application that allows you to customize your IP camera feed before it is grabbed by the intended recipient. In simpler terms, it can be said that when any video is streamed by your video capture device through a network, for example your home Wi-Fi, LAN, internet, all these they operate on TCP IP based protocol, and in the receiving end some compatible receiver, that is some program, captures that feed. In such case you get literally no chance to customize the video feed. Actually, there are some other limitations and flaws as well. Let me present this to you in a more interesting manner. First, let me tell you the speciality of IP webcams. Most of the cases we use a webcam paired with a PC. In case of wired ones, connection is very simple like this, but for the wireless ones, communication is established via hotspot and Wi-Fi. And continuous feed of fresh image at the rate of minimum 10 images per second is sent to the PC, which appears as live video to the viewer. Now, in case of security concern, the communication channel is password protected and encrypted. So the technique seems quite convincing, isn't it? But let me tell you, there are some grave flaws in it. For example, resolution of feed image may not be any standard value. Standard webcam should have either of the following resolutions, but you will find plenty of IP webcams spitting images with either of the resolutions as shown, which may create some compatibility issues. Now, in order to avoid compatibility mismatch, some manufacturers employ a nasty trick. Just before sending the images, they attach some offset band around each image, and the result looks something like the left side images. Have a look. Which I believe will not be appreciated by many. Rather, we would better off without the side bands, provided we can ensure compatibility. Another significant flaw in these cameras is that they do not come readily available as system camera that can be used in your preferred applications like Google Meet, MS Teams, Zoom, Skype, etc. Let me show you that right away. I am using Droid Cam to use my smartphone as IP webcam, and I shall try to use that feed in Google Meet. Let me input the IP address of the incoming feed. Fine, it's working. Now let's move to Google Meet. Let's dig into the settings. The audio source drop-down is working well, but in the video source, no option of IP camera is found. But I can see the IP camera feed is still working. Also observe the overlay text embedded in the image surrounded in red border. Apart from the previous 3 issues, 2 more were found in the demo. And yes, M-JPEG fork solves all these issues. It's kind of 5 problems, 1 solution type thing. Actually, M-JPEG Stream Camera Fork acts like an intermediate facility that allows you to customize the final feed, and it comes bundled with another app named IP Camera Adapter, which provides a virtual cam named M-JPEG Camera to be used by any application that requires access to system cam. And here you get lots of customization features that delivers desired output to the end program. So, let me start now. But before I begin, in case you are using the first product from this publisher, to ensure that the software is genuine, install the certificates of the publisher that will help to do integrity check and verify the genuinity of product from the original source. So, I shall run this certificate installer, which will install required certificates. Read the instruction carefully in any of the available languages of your preference. Some other details are available as well. Finally, when you are satisfied with the instruction, click on the Run Certificate Installer button. Well, for the first time, it can show that the publisher is unknown, but if you have read the instructions carefully, you know this is not a matter of worry. Just click on Yes. It says process completed successfully, which means the certificates have been properly installed and installer has exited. Now I may close the window. That's fine. Now we are ready to install M-JPEG Stream Camera Fork. Just select the installer file, right click, click on Run as Administrator from the drop down menu. Now please be careful. Your UAC prompt should exactly match with this UAC prompt. The verified publisher should exactly match, and so should the program name. If they do match, click on Yes. This is the initial installation interface that installs prerequisites that aids smooth working of M-JPEG Stream Camera Fork. Click on Next. IP camera adapter, as I said before. Click Next. Okay, you have to agree with the conditions to continue with the installation. Click on Install. It should not take much time, and yes, don't launch, just click on Close. Now the actual installation of M-JPEG Motion Camera Fork is beginning. Click on Next. Well, I would allow the default installation location. However, if you wish, you may customize the installation directory by clicking on this Browse button. When you are satisfied, click on Next. Now click on Install. Okay, it's done. You can see shortcut has been created. View README. Okay, let's read it and launch it as well. So click on Finish. This is the EULA. Quite long thing. Although I don't recommend doing this, what I am going to do right away, that is to close it. And it says trial started 3 days. This comes with a 3-day trial, beyond which the product must be registered to continue usage. I'll see that later. For the time being, just click on OK. Okay, settings file is corrupted, could not be read. But before any communication is established, there is no setting stored at all. So it is very normal to see this message. Don't worry. Click on OK. This is the main interface. So the installation part is complete. Now the question is, how do we use it? Let me show. This is kind of a step-by-step process. First, you need to have an IP camera connected to your network. I am using a smartphone as an IP camera with the help of Webcam. Let me show you the app interface in the smartphone. You can see the IP address of the camera in the interface. Actually, there are a couple of them, but using the upper one ultimately redirects to the lower one, and M-JPEG Stream Camera Fork cannot handle redirection. So I would use the lower address, which gives direct access to the image stream. If you are using any other technique to connect to an IP camera, do not worry. You just need to have access to the IP address of the image stream and any login credential if that is required to get the stream. Now, you need to put down the address in the camera URL box. I guess it is okay. If there is any additional parameter apart from this regular link, use this control phrase box. I'm going to leave it empty. Now click on the connect button. Okay, it's time to input the login credentials. Here I have set up some login procedure to prevent unauthorized access to my webcam. You can see the username and I have given a password as well. So I need to put that down here exactly the same what I have given in DroidCam. So I have to input those values correctly. You can instruct the program to store them for upcoming connection attempts in case you choose not to change them immediately, but remember to update them as and when applicable. You can also verify if you have given correct password by clicking and holding down this button. When done, click OK. The connection process has started. It may take a few seconds and voila, the IP webcam feed is coming. It's working seamlessly. Okay, the camera feed is coming upside down, so I'll do minor modification. I'll use this control button to rotate it. Now it's fine. Now it is time to set up the output side. For that, just choose any port number of your choice and write it in this out port box. And if you cannot decide, leave the box empty, which will let the default port 8080 to be used, and click on the start button. Well, your firewall may ask for permission. I would recommend granting only the private network access, which should be sufficient for all non-internet IP camera, and click allow access. And be rest assured, the permission thing is one-time thing. It won't bother you afterwards. In the bottom log, you can see message stating whether the server has started correctly. And yes, go to the list of installed programs and search for configure IP camera adapter. Start that app. In the camera feed URL, put down the address of your started server, which I think is already set up here. Now, just to verify whether it is working properly or not, click on this auto detect button. If server has started properly, it should show a success message like this, which says your camera works. Click on OK and close the configure window by clicking OK. Now the setup is ready and you are ready to use your IP webcam as regular system camera. Let me show you how. But before I begin, let me close this phone view. Start any app that tries to access webcam. Let's try a real useful app, for instance maybe Google Meet. Let me fire it up and here you go. Well, Google Meet has been successfully started. I have joined one meeting as well. Now let me go to the settings section, and in the video there should be an option, and there is an option named M-JPEG camera. Just select this and you can see the webcam output is readily available here. With that, let's minimize this. Actually, you can also customize the output image. I shall show you how to use different features of this app in a different video. But here I conclude the connection and basic usage part. Hope you could grasp it. Thank you.